Recipes from the Kitchen of Life. Hi, I'm Kalyn Raphael, Coach Maven. I empower coaches and clients. Today's recipe on courage is being brought to you by the Maven Method Coaching Certification Program. Courage, living your best life. Courage has always been interesting to me. It shows up truly in mythology, even in our modern day mythology, in which our superhuman characters, such as Superman or Thelma and Louise, have the courage to go beyond some sort of limitation that is internal and often external as well. In other words, they have to develop the confidence or something within to break an internal barrier, perhaps a fear-based barrier, perhaps an insecurity, and that helps them then break their external barrier, such as being able to fly faster than the speed of light. Isn't that a wonderful thing to be able to break? For all of us, courage has this role, and it's very interesting that we as a society really like stories about people who become superhuman when they break those barriers, when they have the courage to do what they know is who they are and what they are, when they have the courage to live their best lives. Be courageous enough to see what you wrote on the wall. Courage. Have the courage to live who you truly are. In other words, we all know things. There's the writing on the wall, and the question is whether or not we're going to have the courage to acknowledge to ourselves who we want to be, and to acknowledge to ourselves what our dreams are and what we want our lives to be. Validate your dreams instead of thinking of them as being childish or a fantasy, because when you think of them this way, you tend to really make the dreams come less often. We tend at that point to disconnect from our inspiration and from our own inner guidance. Additionally, when we do break off from our own dreams and shut that part of ourselves down, we also disconnect from the part of ourselves that knows how to bring passion, excitement, and enthusiasm, as well as joy into our lives. Justifications not to have the courage for your life is truly an excuse not to live the life you know you prefer. Any justification, any reason, such as who can fly faster than the speed of sound, it's not possible, those become excuses not to live the life you know you prefer, not to be who you know you prefer. And while I'm not suggesting that we should all be able to fly if we really were courageous, I am saying that when we're so courageous, what happens is that we'll accept nothing as a limitation or a barrier. Being able to fly or fly faster than the speed of light become symbolic representations of that ability to go beyond what is a limitation or an inability for us. And that's what it's truly about. We become able to go beyond an inability. Courage is wisdom. Having the courage means first and foremost having the intent with yourself to know what you want and who you want to be. Not everyone has this wisdom because for a lot of us, we've disconnected from that part of ourselves and it's very difficult to reconnect with. So if you have the wisdom to know who you want to be and what you want to live, make sure that you tap into that. Make sure that you connect with it. Even if you don't see how to be that person or how to live that way yet, it's okay. The important part is to have the wisdom and acknowledge it. With courage, you allow yourself to recognize the opportunities life creates just for you to have your dreams come true. Courage in life is not with others so much as with yourself. It really can take great courage to acknowledge that you have a dream that really seems like it goes beyond your abilities. And it does take courage because often that can be bittersweet, because the dream of a better life or a better you is so vast, and the pain of not having it or of feeling like you can't have it or aren't able can be just as large. And so it really does take courage to decide that we're going to have the wisdom to look at what we really want and who we really want to be. And this is why courage is often with ourselves. Be courageous. Courage in life is not with others so much as with yourself. To be courageous, you may need to face others or stand up to them. But the greatest courage you can ever live is the courage to face your fears, insecurities, and chase who you know yourself to be anyway. When you get to the point to where you're saying, I'm going to be the person I want to be no matter what. I'm going to make my dreams come true no matter what. I'm going to create the life that I prefer to live no matter what. That's when you're being courageous, and that's when impossibilities tend to shift and life begins to look different and things seem like they start to go your way, making the impossible ordinary. Recipe: courageous. With such courage in your life, you will have one of life's most valuable gifts. You will like yourself and truly be proud of who you are. A lot of people, they might tell you that they like themselves, but they're not always being honest. And even if they are being honest, there's a difference between liking yourself and really feeling good about yourself, really enjoying who you are and enjoying the life you're living. And that is a very invaluable gift. With the difficulties that our modern life has, and with things like depression being so common, the ability to truly like yourself and to really be proud of who you are and really just be filled with joy about yourself, it's a very rare gift, and yet it's one that we can all achieve. This is a feeling that few can say they truly have. It is unlike much of life because it doesn't depend on your wealth, reputation, your career, or your background. Having the courage to be who you wish to be and to live what you wish to live only depends on you. This is a priceless part of life that we are all after, whether we realize it or not. This is how courage in your life is the recipe to a life you will be happy to be living. Thank you for joining me.